The UNI football team picked up a victory on a special Hall of Fame weekend. On this edition of Panther Sports Talk, we preview a top 10 road matchup with Coach Farley. The volleyball team starts conference play as they look to defend their MVC title. We show you a playmaker in her sophomore season. We look at a receiver who's back in the Panther lineup after suffering a significant injury in 2018. And we bring you a story on a multi-sport athlete. Panther Sports Talk starts now.